What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Test Your Might, the weekly video game debate show. My name is Mike, and this week we will be discussing some Bungie stuff and designing our own Amiibo with a twist and a whole lot more. But first, let me introduce the panel. It's only one other person. It is Sean. How you doing today, Sean?
Hi, I'm good. I'm ready to take up the space of two people for the only time in my life.
Yeah, so listeners, we had a little family thing come up with Justin, so just continue to keep him in your thoughts, but we are going just us two here tonight, and we're going to do a two-person debate just like Justin and Cicero did the other week. So if you like what you're hearing, if you like what you're seeing on the YouTubes, please leave a comment, subscribe on the YouTube channel. We are on the road to 100 subscribers, trying to get there. If you're on a podcast app of choice, please go ahead and leave us a review. 5 stars would be the best, obviously, but please be honest. We would love to hear your thoughts about the show. If you're on Spotify, you could only leave a review on mobile only, and that is a 5-star, a star review out of 5. So please consider doing that to help us out. It is free, takes a couple clicks of your time. We would really, really greatly appreciate it. Little bit of housekeeping. We are on the What the Fun show side. We are doing a bunch of Lord of the Rings content. We have reviewed the first 2 Hobbit films. They are out as of now, so go ahead and listen to those. The third one, as of this recording, and as of this release of this episode, will be the 3rd episode of the Hobbit trilogy will be released this coming Friday. And then we will continue reviewing the Lord of the Rings movies all the way up to our review of the new TV series coming out to Amazon. So stay tuned for all of that. Bunch of stuff coming down the pipeline. Me and Justin and hopefully Joe are going to try to also sneak in a review of the new Predator movie, Prey, on Hulu. So that's been getting a lot of praise. So stay tuned. All right, Sean, question of the week. We're continuing our Get to Know You series. So, what is your desert island movie? You can only watch one movie for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. What movie is it?
Yeah, so I took this pretty seriously, and it's probably going to be very existential. So imagine Little Desert Island. Somehow I have the way to watch a movie on this thing.
Yeah.
And I don't really rewatch movies ever. I'll do it occasionally, like sometimes like years later academically, or if like I'm watching it with someone to like show it to somebody. Mm-hmm. So I had to keep that in mind. And I settled on Martyrs, which anyone who knows what Martyrs is would probably think that's like a ridiculous choice. It is a harrowing film. It's from like 2008, I think. It's like a new French extremity. And if you're familiar with that genre at all, or just you can hear the name of it, you might think that's a lot to put in a movie. That's horror-ass horror. And the reason I'm picking it is because just going fully committing to the bit of the scenario of I'm on a desert island, I'm probably going to starve sooner than later. And I want to maybe focus on, doing survival stuff instead of watching my movie. So I'm already adverse to rewatching movies, so I'm picking a movie that is so harrowing that I probably in normal circumstances would never watch again, even though I loved it. But when I do end up circling around to watching it, because I've got nothing else to do on this desert island, I want to gauge. There's this whole thing about like the experience of death and what people go through, and I want to see if by the end, as I near my own death, if I can figure out what was whispered at the end, and if it matches up to my actual experience.
Okay, Martyrs, right?
Yes, yes. It's a lot to do without explaining anything about the movie, but whoever knows what I'm talking about, hopefully that'll make any sense.
Okay. Martyrs you can watch on Tubi for free right now, so just let our listeners know. So yeah, let's see here. Yeah, it is on Tubi, so that's completely free. All right.
Is it not on Shudder now? It might not be.
I don't see unless IMDb is lying, I don't see Shudder as an option.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
I know they like got recent things in that genre like a couple months ago. I guess that wasn't included.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. You probably have a more popcorny version, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you took a little bit more of a academic and like thought process behind this question, and like for me, I was just literally thinking like, what are my favorite movies of all time, and like what is probably the most rewatchable. And so my mind immediately went to Goonies, and that was potentially my choice. But I was also thinking the original Halloween, because I just love the original Halloween. It's my... If Goonies didn't exist, Halloween would be my overall favorite movie of all time, but it is my favorite horror film of all time, also my favorite horror series. But as far as rewatchability and stuff, I probably, like, if I was sticking with within the Halloween series, like, I probably would maybe watch 2018, Halloween 2018, because I think it's more watchable. I think it's more updated, even though I believe the original Halloween is just a utter classic. And then you just got me thinking of like some of the newer films that I just love as well. Like one of my favorites was Knives Out. You've seen Knives Out?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. That's one of the movies I've rewatched on purpose. Recently. So
yeah, it's like Knives Out was just so awesome. Like it's one of my favorite movies of the past couple years. And then weird to say, but I would rewatch the heck out of No Way Home, like just constantly. Like No Way Home was awesome. I loved it so much, but I'm going to choose Goonies specifically just because it's my favorite movie of all time. So I think I'd be okay watching it forever. So. All right. Quick question. Do you think we have like nice 4K TVs and stuff like that, on this desert island?
I mean, we might as well, I was going to ask that if there were more people, like, is it worth watching, like, am I like finally going to see Dunkirk because I finally have like the big screen to watch it on again since I missed it in theaters, like, because obviously that would impact me. Then I'd be watching like everything everywhere all at once again, because there's so much in that movie that like you'd have to watch it like 18 times to see everything. But again, it's also like one of those ones where like I need to conserve my water and I'm gonna cry at the end of that, so I don't know, like.
That's so funny. Oh man, so many good movies. Like there's just so much joy in a lot of movies too. Like man, I just there's like I even think of like Pacific Rim. Like it's such a popcorny dumb movie, but it's just so fun. Gets you kind of excited, And I mean, it's kaiju, or Godzilla or something like that. I don't know. It's just there's so many movies that I'd be okay with, but choosing Goonies. All right, Sean, I'm gonna switch this question. What have we been playing?
Do you not remember? Is that why you need to ask this?
Yeah.
It was like yesterday, man.
I'm seeking counsel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, we've been most recently. No, we did play Multiverses right at the end of that, so we played Multiverses. That's what we've been doing. I've been trying to find the ultimate duo partner. It's between you and Taylor because you're the two people that have applied.
Probably me because we dominated,
Oh, we did dominate. We did dominate.
Multiverses is so fun. Like, we've only really played that one session, like the 2v2, because you bombarded me yesterday with a 1v1 challenge. But yeah, I mean, I've been reading some things like apparently Multiversus is getting some really high praise at Evo. Like, it showed up at Evo this weekend.
Really?
So yeah, and like we discussed.
Oh yeah, 'cause like Sonic Fox said, like this is like a real thing. It's my next game, didn't he?
Yeah. Like I think it's truly. I think it's gonna be a top contender. Just not only because of its. I'm going to use the word, but it is limited. But it's like unlimited, ability to like add characters. Like, just there's so many things that Warner Brothers owns. Like, it's just the sky's the limit for it. And on top of it, I think you can agree with it. Like, the mechanics are sound. Like, they're really good. Like, it came out pretty polished. And aside from me trying to connect to a dang game sometimes, like, I'm having a good time.
Yeah, it like feels maybe floaty's like the closest I get to it. It feels a little weird for me, specifically just because I just almost entirely melee, but I know like other games are in this like genre kind of skew that way anyway. But like it's fine, it's good. But what I'm really excited about is that like beyond just being able to include everybody, like each character is pretty like they have like a cool. Almost all of them have like at least like a passive that makes them like they have a unique mechanic that's like a hook for each character. Mm-hmm. And as long as they stick with that, I'm fine with them adding as many people as I want because I'm always looking for like that. Like I heard Ari had a backstab, and I was like, I need that. That's a great thing to have in one of these games. I'm already dodgy. I want to do that. So as long as like they keep it where everyone has like something like that, I think it's going to be like a sweet game.
Well, yeah, and I unlocked. I love the team aspect to it too. Like we were playing. You could be Wonder Woman, and I could be somebody else, and Wonder Woman has this ability, listeners, if you haven't played it, where no matter where she is on the map, if she presses down Y, she's going to teleport to your character, and she's going to give you shield. At least she was doing it for me. So
yeah, there's like a range. There is a range to it, but yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah. It's big though.
It is big. Yeah. Like I was like on the other side of the map one time, and I shot back to you when I was playing Wonder Woman. I was like, that's pretty crazy. So it gives like shield or like Batman. Like I just unlocked Batman, and he's pretty fun too. He has a smoke screen that gives gives invisibility as well as your what's the word I'm looking for? Your teammates. There we go. Invincibility as well, and it slows your enemies. Like those passives, those sort of unique move sets. I really do like make this a really, really cool brawler, really cool arena fighter. And I think the one thing that it has going for it over something like Smash Bros, or even to a certain extent that Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls, like I feel like WB is slightly more approachable as far as like character selection, because like everybody recognizes Batman, everybody recognizes Bugs Bunny, and I think that just like people will get sucked into a certain character and they'll just start enjoying it. Like, hey, it's free to play, so definitely download it. Been playing Escape Academy as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good times.
We're smart, we're geniuses. Flawless.
Yeah, it is written in the story. It's all flawless. The little story that game has. I totally think it's worth it though. Like it's one of those games that you can, set aside 10, 12 hours to finish with a friend or by yourself technically, and then just never play it again because you know all the answers.
Yeah. But it is fun, like trying to split the work and like using the split screen when we can. Mm-hmm. It's been worth the time.
Cool. Yeah, it's been fun. I don't think it's like a Game of the Year contender, but it's got some very unique and sometimes in some respects difficult puzzles, and gives us a run for our money sometimes.
Yeah.
So other than that, anything else you've been playing?
I finally you already know this, but I've broken the seal. I've been Pokemon only for so long. Well, I guess Persona dabbles in that realm, but out of the ones that everyone cares about, the rivalry status, I've become impure and have Digivolved my first Digimon and de-Digivolved. I've gone all sorts of ways with this evolution of the digital monsters. With not Survive, but people talking about Survive ended up talking about Digimon Stories Cyber Sleuth, which is a little bit older. And that's just been a good, like, fun, like, solid mechanics game that I'm going to spend too much time on because it's like 50 hours, I think, just for like that one. And there's also like an add-on, which is like a different side of the story, which is another 50 or whatever. And it's pretty good. I heard people had issues with the translation. I've like seen a couple things that are a little weird, but nothing to like write home or an email about, you know. And I'm sticking with the story. It's also not something to like write home about. But
I'm gonna write a letter, you know.
I'm gonna write a letter, yeah. You know. But yeah, the story's all right. It's serviceable. I hope it gets like something that's like sweet, like a Persona game would, or like a Tensei game would. But don't have super high expectations. But I thought the Digi evolutions would be more intimidating, but despite it being like a web of things you can do, it's been pretty approachable. With like minimal, like I have all the guides up just in case, but I haven't really had to use them unless I want something very specific, which I don't usually because I don't know what the end states are. So just vibing.
War Garurumon, I know that one.
I've gotten a black Garurumon. Have I gotten a regular? I don't think I've gotten a regular, but
man, I collected those cards growing up. Never played Digimon though. It was way too complicated. So I've been playing God of War 2018. Yeah, that's really what I am sinking my teeth into. You know, if I'm not watching TV or movies, it is so good. Yeah, it runs pretty good on my base PS4, looks pretty good on my 4K TV. Like I'm just really enjoying it. The story so far is pretty good too. And yeah. Play that game if you have not. So I definitely recommend. All right. Anything else before we get into the news?
Shout out Gordian Quest. I don't think I was playing last time I was here. It's a roguelike deck builder.
Which one?
It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. Gordian Quest. It just came out. It's been in like early access for a long time. It just came out of that. It's got like a long campaign mode and also like a run mode. The campaign is so long. It says 15 to 30.
Gordian Quest?
Gordian, like a knot, like a Gordian knot.
Oh.
Yeah. They say that the whole thing should take 15 to 30 hours, but like
not question.
Chapter 1 of 4 took me 15 hours, so they're a little, and I don't think I was like slow or anything. But
okay.
But it also again just has like a run mode.
Oh, okay. So like in auto run mode, like you could just let it play?
No, it's like there's a regular like, hey, this is a roguelike mode where it's like kind of Slay the Spire in shape.
Oh, okay.
And then the campaign mode is like, hey, there's like actual story written out. And there's like bigger maps. You can like choose to go around and do stuff. But it's not like we're in Slay the Spire where like you're going one direction, you know, and like you're picking which path to go in that direction. Like you can go back and forth and stuff in that on the maps and stuff. And you do a lot more investment in your characters as you go along because you're with them for longer.
That. The
character archetypes are pretty sweet.
There's literally a Slay the Spire clone, like as far as
for like the map,
the art,
yes,
in the map it looks like.
I would say the art's better than that, and also the way the fighting goes. Like there's a map, there's like a positioning matters.
Yeah, it looks like yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like you are using multiple characters. It's more like I can't remember there's another game I was playing that is a lot more like that than Slay the Spire from like last year. Something about Trial of Ashes or something. Yeah, Trial of Ashes, which I liked last year. It's more like that. But the character archetype is really cool. Yeah.
I wonder if it's coming to console.
I don't know. Yeah, it just came out early access, so maybe that's like the next step. I forget.
Quest console. Let's check. There's a Kickstarter campaign to get it to console. It would be coming to all the things. So
all the things.
The new consoles and Switch. So it is a Kickstarter like goal. So honestly, this looks cool. I have a Steam link down in the description for you guys if you are listening and want to check that out. All right. Yeah, let's get on to the news. So this week here, gotta talk about Bungie. Bungie's been in the news a little bit, not because they just been acquired, from PlayStation, but there are some other things going on with the company, including definitely some community stuff that is not the best. Some nasty comments sent towards them, and just kind of like a toxic environment that I've been seeing recently, at least on Twitter. But Sean, you are our resident Destiny 2 person, and like Bungie aficionado over there. So
okay,
yeah. So I mean, what's been going on? What's some of the news that you want to talk about with Bungie?
Okay, so what y'all had on your thing already was basically well, what did you guys have already on there? It was just that was about the toxicity. Someone just doing some bad tweets. Okay, yeah,
dumb tweets.
So Bungie has this thing where they do like a weekly This Week at Bungie situation where they like go out and try to reach out to the community and like say like, hey, here's the state of the game, here's what we're up to here, and then like there's a section of, hey, at the top is like, hey, here's stuff upcoming in the game or things we just changed. Then there's like probably a section about like, hey, what's happening internally, what's our culture like, and then at the end they always end with like, hey, here's some like cool art or some like community engagement stuff, like things we want to encourage seeing in our community, and like here's some cool people. In a recent one of those, there was a like black community creator that got spotlighted, and some people were being racist
Paris?
about it.
Was that Paris?
Was that Paris? I don't remember. Okay. But yeah, then some people were being toxic about that online to enough where like there's been articles written about it, but that's not like super new. Like maybe like there's kind of it's more severe than usual, but like there are bad fans everywhere,
Yeah.
So like that's kind of the main thing that was happening there. But somewhat related to that, but what I think is the bigger news is that Bungie is currently having a lawsuit against a player. For the main parts of the lawsuit are about cheating, and like getting around terms of services by like they get banned for cheating and then they make multiple dupe accounts or whatever. And they just keep doing that, and then they do things like sell stuff you're not supposed to be like selling that are like account locked, through hacking and stuff. And so part of the whole legal reason for the lawsuit is like clamping down on that, but part of the reason they're actually like making this a big lawsuit also, supposedly, is that in the course of responding to like being banned and stuff, this person who's being sued was also just a complete piece of crap to the workers at Bungie, like the HR people. And it's kind of setting an example, one, for like, hey, don't like do these things that are harming the community, but also don't do these things that are like harming people at Bungie, like, hey, don't make like bomb threats and stuff, which obviously don't do that anywhere for any reason. But
well, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's really, you're seeing like articles on all of this, like on Forbes. Like there's a guy who works for Forbes, Paul Tassi. Is that his name? He writes on Destiny 2 all the time.
Okay.
And he's I was reading some of his articles because he's writing about like the toxicity that that Bungie is kind of experiencing right now, and most unfortunate. I know that Liana Rupert, somebody I followed at like Game Informer, she went over to Bungie to start working there, and she's been receiving stuff. All these types of things, like, and we just, listeners, we don't always enjoy talking about this stuff, just because it's harsh, it's reality, and we don't want to bring, we don't want to give any spotlight to those trolls, and so that's why we on this show are calling this stuff out, because if you are listening and you're one of those people, like, no offense, but you're not a part of the Test Your Might family, because we over here, we treat each other with respect, and we call these things out. Bungie, any game developer should not be experiencing any of this, and especially Bungie, who, you know what, I'm just gonna call it, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they're just so transparent and so good with Destiny 2. Like, I'm not a Destiny 2 person, but I see the state of the game, and yeah, there's some issues, but like, they're doing their best for like a live service, and they really are truly one of the pioneers of like live service games, and I think they're doing a good job, at least from at least from an eagle-eyed view.
Yeah, actually, for how transparent they are pretty transparent compared to a lot of companies, but also they have pulled back, like, recently, like, calling out this sort of situation. Like, they don't say a bunch of things coming up because people react negatively to whatever they say, But in addition to that, like, that makes them, like, they are, the people working at Bungie are, like, victimized in this way, like, totally true, and they are, like, doing their best. But just like with any company, like, they're a video game company, like, they're not faultless for, like, other stuff. Like, they recently had like mistreating their workers scandals and stuff like that, which they seemingly have been, like, improving on. But that, regardless, that doesn't, justify any of this stuff. And whatever, like, critiques you may have about PvP, PvE, whatever, like, you don't take it out on people, directly like that in these sorts of ways.
Yeah, it's definitely something that, we just don't want to see. Like, everybody has their skeletons, but it doesn't mean that, like, we need to be shouting it out and, attacking people for it. And even when there's no skeleton, and people are still, throwing those bombs, at Bungie, creators, at Bungie workers, it's absolutely unacceptable. So I will be the first to say that you have no part in this community if you are like that. I'm very sorry, but yeah, that's what we are about here. So hey, have you heard of this game before? It's called Beyond Good and Evil 2.
I think I've heard about that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
There's like cameras or something. It's fantasy-ish.
Yeah. Had a pretty cool reveal trailer. Yeah. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Anyway, 6 years after its announcement, finally they hire its lead writer.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. The game's new lead writer previously also wrote for World of Warcraft. Not Warcraft, sorry. Warcraft. Sarah R. Alano announced that she was joining as the game's lead writer. Arlano previously worked as a narrative designer for Blizzard on World of Warcraft and Volition, the studio responsible for Saints Row. This is an article by Casey David Moore Taylor on IGN. I gotta be honest, I thought this game was just like dead, like really dead.
Yeah, a lot of games I just don't think about, constantly. This is definitely one of those. Also because I had no connection before.
Constantly, but yeah.
Well, no, constantly I don't think about things. I don't think about games that aren't existing yet, that are in development, whatever. Like Drainage 4, something I nominally would have any interest in, being a BioWare person and liking a lot of what Drainage does. I'm not thinking about that very often at all. You know,
but I have more confidence in Dragon Age 4. You know,
yeah, I mean, for sure.
You know,
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, me not thinking about a game doesn't really indicate whether it's going to survive or not. But maybe that's untrue for you.
I mean, so I mean, to be frank, like, I'm with you. I was not even thinking about this game. Like, this game's like just life cycle is so interesting. Like, and when you get this like just random news article now saying that it's actually not dead, like, I'm just so surprised, because they had a decent showing when they did show it at the Ubisoft E3 press conference back when it was announced. And by decent, I mean, like, it had a really, really cool, interesting CG trailer, which is most of the time the reveal. Even so interesting that, like, it got me to install the original and, try to start playing that. So, like, it was just something that I was kind of sort of interested into, and also just like what they were planning for the game. And then it just went so radio silent that I was just like, okay, this is just not even going to happen ever. And now it's still happening, I guess. I mean, that's a whole nother story in and of itself. I feel like Ubisoft is just, I feel like they've just lost their identity. Like, as far as like some really pillar like franchises, like Splinter Cell's gone, like Prince of Persia there's supposed to be that Sands of Time remake was supposed to come out this year, got delayed till next year, don't even know when that's coming. Like, it's almost seeming like it's Assassin's Creed or bust right now. And that's something, like, I like Ubisoft games.
Don't they Watch Dogs?
They do Watch Dogs, yes.
Okay. That's still around.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah, I mean,
look, so speaking of Sands of Time, like, another project, not video games, but, that Sandman TV show was on and off. No one heard about it for, the decade that it was in progress, more than that, and they finally released that. So there's hope for really any project with enough people trying to think about it occasionally. We might still get Beyond Good and Evil 2.
That Sandman is getting some good reviews. I need to read that comment. I need to read the
comic's so good.
Novel.
Read it.
Do you have it?
I do. That was like the first series I bought in high school.
I think I remember
Spider-Man Individuals.
I think I remember you even buying that. Like, I feel like I remember that, and you talking about it. I gotta read it. Maybe I'll just.
Is that still true? I think it's still got my favorite comic book character of all time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Neil Gaiman, everybody. All right. Let's get to Test Your Might, the namesake of the show. Sean, I am not even remotely ready for this. So hopefully you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So, talk about something that was supposed to happen that didn't happen and then finally happened. The Minecraft Alex and Steve Amiibos are now a thing, and you could pre-order them. So here's our debate for tonight. Man, I'm so tired. So we'll see how this goes. Here's our debate for tonight. We need to pick any other game character. So I think that did you take that to mean in Smash Bros?
Oh, I took it to mean just I thought we were adding. I see. Okay, looking at the document, I thought we were talking inserting fight a game character here and again later. But
okay,
we can just design a whole amiibo for somebody that already exists. But most of them, don't they already have them? I haven't amiiboed ever. No, I haven't really paid attention in a long time. But I feel like almost everybody other than these two have amiibos or multiples by now.
Yeah, I would assume as well.
Actually, wait, there's one that I'm possibly not about. Let's find out.
So we're doing just video game character. We need to design an amiibo for them. And how would they work in Smash Bros?
Yes. Oh yeah, even Incineroar's got an amiibo, so they all do. They just all do.
Okay. All right. All right. So, Sean, I'll let you go first. Video game character, create an amiibo, and how would they work in Smash?
Okay. So is this going to be is vital to my game, to my decision of who to pick? Is this character going to be only like? Is it going to be a character that people can play, or because amiibos are like things you scan in and they're like computer players? Is this something that only the computer can play?
I think it's a character that you can control.
Okay. All right. All right. So then I'm not going to be a super troll. I'm going to pick... I haven't actually gotten around to playing this game beyond the demo, but I've seen some cool things of it, and I like the characters from Breath of the Wild. So I'm going to pick... I'm going to pick Impa from the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, new Legend of Zelda character, there's already 4 of them, but there's a lot. The Legend of Zelda has a lot to offer. 4.5 because chic. But there's a lot to offer. We haven't had a new one in a while, and we can't just always bring in third party folks.
Oh, so you're bringing in Nintendo? Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
You don't have to. That was my thinking.
I don't have to hear you. I mean, if I'm gonna argue with you, I probably should hear you. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so. Oh man. You know what? I'm going for it. We don't need another swordsman in Smash Bros. But I'm going for it. We need Geralt of Rivia in Smash Bros.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Now, Geralt, he is going to... This Amiibo, it's going to be awesome. He's going to... I'm going to harken a little bit to the Netflix series. He's going to have those kind of like, black kind of eyes that like have those veins that, go into his face like that. And he's just going to be holding his sword, just looking all witchery, yeah. And he's going to be a swordsman, obviously, but, as we all know, like Geralt has some other abilities to bring to the table. We're gonna have fun with Geralt of Rivia in Smash Bros. More so than Imp. You said your character was
Impa.
Impa.
Again, Legend of Zelda character. From like the past version of like the Breath of the Wild timeline.
Yeah,
like before the
Mm-hmm.
during the Age of Calamity, before the big sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. So Impa's thing, and she's got a couple things, but like the things I'm really grabbing onto her for here, in Age of Calamity, is that she has like magic based on like little runes that like she puts on enemies, and then she makes clones of herself. And I think Smash Bros could do with more like doubled up characters. I'm envisioning kind of maybe like Ice Climber-y, but like conditionally, like you don't have clones up all the time, but like you can do like cool positional stuff based on when you want to like make a clone. And you take a little bit of work for it. And I think she's got like, just even in like her base, art, she's got some like cool, like poses with her really long hair and her hat that like can be in cool, like flying behind you as she does like a twist on her amiibo, with little magic effects around it. And you can have like kind of her little rune sigils going around. And she would, of course, be holding the Shake a Slate that everyone uses in Age of Calamity. It's not just Link as it is in Breath of the Wild, because Link's the one that matters in Breath of the Wild as the player character. And she just got like cool, just a lot of things that like flow around, and I think that's always fun in a figure. While also kind of like a simple design that wouldn't be too much to get lost in with all the flowy stuff. But so that's the Amiibo, and again, Smash Bros. Wise, a unique mechanic, because I'm especially with MULTIVERSUS happening in here, like something that isn't like super game breaking based on like what other people have, but would be cool is like setups with some range with magic, being mostly a ranged character, and then having like positional play with when and if she makes clones to either like take hits for her or like do hits from weird angles and stuff like that. I'm always a sucker for that. Smash Bros. Needs more of it.
Okay. One thing that I really enjoy about Smash Bros. Is you're in the fight and stuff like that, and you got your health a little bit too high as far as the percentage of damage that you could take, and one of the things that Geralt can do is that, at least from The Witcher 3, he has this ability called Sun and Stars. And it's something where definitely would be a little bit more effective in maybe like a 4-player match, but it allows him to just sneak away for a moment from the fight and gain a little composure. And so I think that would be cool to implement here into Smash Bros. He has some other abilities like shields and stuff. One of the things that I just think Geralt has this like focus to him that you can do in your ultimate as well. Just kind of like hyper focused onto his enemies, and I don't know. He's just a swordsman, so I mean, it might not be the best fit here because there's a lot of swordsmen, but you got a dang good argument, and it's hard to beat you there. I'm gonna be honest. I did not think that through.
That's fine. Look, you don't need to sell yourself short. But I will say, just to kind of seal the deal, the ultimate here, using the Shake a Slate. You know how people are doing those fun Breath of the Wild like physics things with like stop and like magnetize. Absolutely, she's gonna be doing that trash as like one of those like if you hit it, that's one hit KO Final Smash situation. It's so funny to do in the game, and it'd be just not super ridiculous within Smash, but it would still feel good, I think, as like a little movie to play while you're getting owned in there real quick. So.
Okay, then.
I'll take it.
Listeners, I know you could still decide who won the argument, but it was not me. So, take that as you will. Okay. Another fighting game. Multiverse is big and only getting bigger, so it is your job to add the next big hit character and stage, but with a twist. Your character and stage has to be from the 80s. All right. From the 80s. Sean, you want me to go first or you to go first?
Are you ready to go first?
I'm ready for this one.
All right, go ahead. I have to do one more final thing to seal my situation. But I'm listening. I'm here.
Okay. So, I love this movie from the 80s. It is my favorite movie of all time. It is The Goonies, and Sloth is joining the fight. Sloth is going to be, he's got the strength. He's got he's going to be kind of like a tank, probably have a little bit of armor. He's going to have like the Superman shirt on, but it's obviously for Sloth. And so I think that would be a cool kind of like intro character moment. Be like, hey, you got the S, if he's fighting Superman. But Sloth he's a fun, lovable character. He's going to be a brawler. He's got a lot of good melee attacks. And his down Y ability, listeners, if you don't know, in MULTIVERSUS, down Y is the kind of like the tactic or the special ability that is pretty unique to your character. Like we were talking earlier, Batman has the smoke bomb, Wonder Woman has the shield, stuff like that. And Sloth is very protective of his family. And he is always willing to lay down his life for, even though they're bad, his mom and his brothers, and obviously Chunk and the Goonies. And so his down Y would obviously be him jumping to the rescue against somebody and taking the damage of what would be the hit, So you would like jump and teleport to your teammate just to help and kind of defend. Maybe it's something like you would put a barrier in between your teammate and your opponent. Something like that. So Sloth for the win. He is going to his up Y, his saving ability. He is clearly good at like swinging from ropes and stuff like that. And speaking of ropes, speaking of sails, our stage is going to be none other than the One-Eyed Willy ship, where all the gold is found. And yeah, I can see the stage now. I can picture it now. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm taking a moment to laugh because my stage is also going to be a ship. I forget, is that ship supposed to be haunted in Goonies?
No, there's just dead skeletons.
No, I didn't think so. Just dead skeletons? Okay. Because I have a haunted quote unquote ship as my stage. So it's
kind of haunted because the ship does like set sail at the end of the movie. So
okay, all right. So I had probably what people might consider better ideas before I landed on this, but I noticed that WB has done a little bit of anime, and I'm thinking 80s, and I'm thinking WB has done one of the two anime WB has done is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which I don't know if that means anything to you, Mike.
Not really.
No? Okay. So I will send you a picture of my person then. But what you got to know about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is there are people with stands. They're like powers that like people get, and usually they have like physical embodiments that could either be like literally just a big guy that stands up behind you and does some punches. It could be like a little like snake that slithers out and like takes control of people. It could be a lot of things. It could just be like a gun in your hand that shoots real good, and you can do the bolts and stuff like that. But really what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is like wild powers getting into like wild like psychological fights about what people's powers can do, and ridiculous beefcake poses. So what I'm presenting here, I think just like anyone from, and since I'm sticking to the 80s only, I have to pick from volume from like the third genre or the third round of it, which is Stardust Crusaders, which is both made in the 80s and about the 80s. And it's kind of like a world tour situation where they're going to they're like traveling the world to fight. They have to get to Egypt to fight the big bad guy.
Book or?
It's a manga that becomes anime,
okay,
as things generally do in this sphere of stuff. And like the main person, Jotaro Kujo, could be the person, but he's mostly punchy and like some time stuff. But what I want to mess around with is the first person that joins this team, Noriaki Kakuin, who I can just send it to you real quick in the chat here. But he has, oh boy, get it up. He has an ability where he can like send out his little guy, his stand, to, it's called the Hierophant Green. He can send it out to like enter people and like control them from the inside. So there's a little bit of a like control situation. You can either stun people or Arya has a thing where she like steals people's faces and can use their A or whatever. Maybe you could do a little bit of like getting people to like do their basic attack sometimes when they're not expecting it, or get them to turn around. If you successfully land the like possession, with that would be his down Y probably. Which you don't want to have too much like controlling the other character for too long, because like that's kind of seen as like anti-fun mechanic in a lot of ways, where like it could be fun for the person but not fun to like have done to you. But I think there's some ways where you can get it where like it's, hey, for the next X amount of time, like, or like for 5 times in the next minute, you can just like make them do a basic attack instead of whatever they're doing in their combo, or you can get them to like turn around, so that like they shoot off in the wrong direction. And that would be kind of like the special. But the other things he can do besides just like fight, which would be like he's got fighting skills, so he can do the punchy stuff. But he can also do like long range, like splash attacks, of like just shooting like emerald crystals out and stuff like that. And like the taunts just kind of are baked in. I think that's going to be a key aspect of this character. Anytime you're bringing in JoJo, with just a ridiculous great beefcake pose, and then also like his little like gross little green guy coming up and like doing a pose with him. That's always fun to do. And I think the stage in this world, in this arc of the show, not people aren't the only like entities with stands or powers. There's also notably there's a dog who I almost brought in because he's just funny. But there is a gorilla or an orangutan whose stand is a ship that they end up taking unknowingly to cross the ocean. And I think this like ship that is they think it's haunted because it's like literally controlled by this guy, would be a great stage, because like you can kind of do whatever you want as like a stage hazard mechanic, and it's got like great vibes. And you could have this orangutan show up at any point, like even just in the background, while the stage is kind of even doing like flips, shutting doors on you, having like spooky music. Yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure also just needs to be around, I think, in the W universe. Get that anime in here.
Nah, man. No. See, your stage, whatever. My stage, though, is going to have fun transitions. And I'm bringing it into the arena fighter here. Something like Injustice, where they had stage transitions. I think it would be really cool to set kind of Multiverses apart, is that they have multiple different like areas within one stage. You could have areas from the Goonies, like you could be fighting in the restaurant, that the tunnel is under. You could be fighting in like the piano room, like before you get into the slides going down to where the boat is, and then you could eventually get on this boat, and you could just have like One-Eyed Willie just chilling in the back, and just like what's more iconic than One-Eyed Willie getting there, and then just like. So what's cool about this pirate ship too is that, like, as you see in the Goonies, it has like different levels as well. So there's a lot of different verticality to this particular map. There is, obviously the lookout tower as well, so there's a lot of different variants within this stage. And Sloth is going to be an awesome character. He's going to have some really cool lines, but also his attacks are going to be awesome. He's going to help his friends with his down Y. His right Y is going to be his right Y is going to be some type of Baby Ruth attack, because he loved Baby Ruth. I mean, he's just gonna like toss Baby Ruth at you, get you all chocolate up, and just like punch you in the face, something like that. Sloth is gonna be amazing in this. He's only going to bring me more joy while I'm playing this game. JoJo ain't got nothing on Sloth.
JoJo's got longevity. It's been around since the 80s. It's still going on today with rabid fans. I've been around the most rabid Goonie fan I can think of, and it still hasn't gotten me to even care about it. Whereas JGBA, it's happening now. It's constant. If anyone's even remotely next to anime, they're watching it. And it's got great long-standing things that are affecting the medium constantly. And I would say your transitions idea for the stage, like, yes, having it specifically ape Injustice, where like it's a flat stage with some things and you do the transition intentionally, is new. But like, rotating stages has been in Smash Bros. Since Melee. Like, they've had scrolling stages, they've had Rumble Falls, they've had Poke Floats, they've had that one where you're on the ship in Mario Land. It's not anything. You're not like breaking any new ground with that.
Yes, I am. Those are side-scrolling, ones. Those are stage changes that are being continuous. This would be you like have to.
I'm granting that like it's player controlled, but like that, like player controlled isn't like a huge change. Like it's important. And if you're gonna take this competitively, it is better than the scrolling stages. I'll admit that, but like I'm not gonna say it's like a huge. It's not game change. It is literally game changing, but it's not like changing the meta, of how to build a stage. Is what I would take away from that.
Yeah. I don't know, Sean. Like, you're saying that JoJo has like longevity and stuff like that, but Goonies never say die. And therefore, Sloth will never lose. Sloth will never lose.
That seems unbalanced.
You need to watch Goonies then, if you don't know.
I just feel like if you have a character that can't lose, that's bad game balance. And like, contrary to what I was just giving with the stage, maybe we'll take the Goonies stage, but Sloth can't be in here if you literally can't lose with that. Like, we already have Superman. We have one Superman already, who I wouldn't argue is like OP in this game, but like,
all right, then let's take Superman out and then put Sloth in.
Oh, okay. I might actually be amenable to that one, but then we still need a slot for Kakawin to come in, so I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it's good for me.
No, it's not happening. Okay.
Just listeners, since you're voting, just Google the posts. This character could win on taunts alone, but also has great possession mechanics and long range, short range game going on.
Yeah. All right, listeners, our last debate for tonight. Sean, I don't know if you saw this, but Hallmark is getting a bunch of Christmas ornaments. And some of them are video game related. So,
yeah.
Which one, our debate, which video game one is going to be the top seller?
Yeah. Is this video game only out of these? We're going the whole part, because there's only like 3 of the video game ones in here.
Yeah, listeners, we will post a link down in the description, and we'll let you know so that you could see some of the other choices. But yeah, there's a very limited amount of video game related ones, so we're just gonna go with whatever we got on here. You want to do that?
Sure. I'm probably still going to pick a video game when looking at these anyway, but...
all right. Well, there are 3, and there's only 2 of us, so let's choose. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's choose. All right. I mean, do you want to pick this time, since I picked last time? Or?
I mean, sure.
You want me to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the Super Nintendo one.
Okay.
Listeners, if you're not looking at the link that I put down, this is a replica of a Super Nintendo console with Super Mario World in the console. Obviously, the owner of this here ornament knew to blow on the cartridge before putting it in there. So clearly, just a video game savant owning this type of ornament. And also, this is one that they have reintroduced for the 2022 collection. So clearly, it sold well. Therefore, it's going to sell well again. And what is more awesome than just having like a mini version of a video game console on your tree? It's so cool. It's got 2 controllers on the side. It's easily going to be the most sold one out of these 3. Got nothing on me, Sean.
Oh, I do. What's fun is literacy. Literacy's fun. And so I went down and I read a little bit past these three, and not saying that you're illiterate, but I just also read. I'm just using the skill more.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And I'm noticing that in November they're adding an Eevee ornament. And I know, being around Poke Kids recently and Poke Adults, that Eevee sells like hotcakes. Eevee's fantastic Pokemon. It looks like a dog, but cuter. IMO, I know. And it's got good vibes. This ornament that they got has just great, like, happy vibes here. And I think that it's gonna sell well for people that do know what Eevee is, and it's gonna sell well for, out of touch people that still want to get their loved one something, video game or not, and they think, hey, this is a cute ornament and it's a good general purpose. Oh crap, I either need, like, I'm actually trying to buy a good present, but also that demographic where it's like, oh crap, Christmas is in 2 days and I need to get a present right now. Here's a cute ornament to grab, and Eevee fits that line of looks adorable, could be a lot of things. In a worst case scenario, you got them a cute, like, pet ornament that they can hang up whenever, and that just hits all 4 quadrants, whatever that is in the ornament game.
I will admit, because I just looked it up, dang, this ornament is cute. You are not wrong. However, the one thing, although Eevee is cute and definitely, brings out the Pokemon vibes, you cannot deny that it is both Pikachu and Charizard that really, really speak to Pokemon, and those two are really the more associated Pokemon to the regular people in the world. Like, sure, with this particular Pokemon, with an Eevee ornament, you are bringing in those Poke fans, but we are talking about Super Nintendo, something that, like, people grew up with, they and their parents grew up with as well. Like, their parents, they bought it for their kids, they stole the controllers, they were playing the games. Like, this is something that is a little bit more has a little bit more mass appeal, and what we're talking about here is being sold, what is going to get the higher numbers. And it is clearly not only the ornament that was around last year and is coming back this year to join the collection again, but one that is more widely recognizable to just the regular person. Like, a person will walk in and be like, oh, it's a Nintendo. Like, I understand this. Whereas this cute little dog, they're not going to be like, what's this dog from? Oh, Pokemon, because they have to look at the box in order to understand. But they don't have to understand. They don't have to look at the box to understand a console. With Super Mario World, if it was Pikachu, I would give you that. Maybe if it was Charizard, I would give you that. But it's not going to outsell the Super Nintendo one. Come on.
Like, I've got some, I mean, I wouldn't think this is news to you until just now, but I have some news for you. You're out of touch. This is the moment where I've realized that you've gotten old and you're out of touch. There is a specific generation, maybe like and a half, that grew up with a Super Nintendo, but Eevee keeps getting cycled in. Eevee's been 3 generations strong, people growing up with it. We have the original games, we have Pokemon Go's, we have Fire Red Leaf Green remakes, and then also, importantly, making Eevee a franchise contender beyond just being like the thing that everyone loves when they think about Pokemon because of like the cute dogginess and all the like all the like multiple evolution situation. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee just came out like in 2021, and that was a mainline game that sold really well on the Nintendo Switch. This isn't an old head situation that we're walking into here. This is a Pokemon that people have been thinking about constantly since 97, and Game Freak keeps bringing it up. They're still making a lot of the like merchandise is centered around Yes Pikachu, but also like there's Eevee blankets and stuff like that still going out. And many of them are very comfortable in my experience. So people are buying them. People have Eevee in their life. And yes, people, like, they've had many Pikachu ornaments in the world. And, like, yes, that would sell well, but it's already sold well. People have their Pikachu ornaments. And this, similarly with this SNES situation, people got their SNES ornament. People that were going to get a SNES ornament, they got it last year. There's no one that's looking now today for a SNES ornament. Maybe I say no one, but that's because I round up after like 95%. Maybe there's 5% of people that would buy a SNES ornament that haven't bought it already. I would give you that if we're going by amount of money gained and the SNES ornament was more expensive, because of the type of people that like it's a collector sort of situation, nostalgia market, people would pay more for a SNES one, and maybe it would possibly make more money in the long run based on the prices. But even then, I doubt it because of how much more an Eevee would sell to general purpose people for the same price as the SNES one. If we're just talking volume.
Yeah, so a couple things. First and foremost, Let's Go Eevee came out in 2018, not 2021. So wrong. Eevee.
That's still hitting the. It's still hitting Gen
fever.
Z. It's hitting Gen Z.
Fever is gone. It's gone. It's not there anymore. I'm not out of touch.
I was under an Eevee blanket last weekend.
Okay,
for a 5-year-old. For a 5-year-old.
That's not my fault.
I'm telling you, a 5-year-old has an Eevee and it's her favorite Pokemon. I don't know.
You know, and clearly you were a Sega kid growing up because, geez, like, come on. The Super Nintendo. This is the Super Nintendo, you know?
I was a Super Nintendo kid. I didn't actually have either, but my babysitter had the Super Nintendo, so I was on it.
All I'm saying is that I just think that the Super Nintendo has a little bit more wide appeal than Eevee. Eevee, although they did put Eevee on the main stage, putting it on a mainline Pokemon, it is still slightly not as, you know, appealing or not as knowledgeable than a Pikachu or Charizard. I just don't think that you got it in the bag there, Sean. I think I do with the SNES. The SNES.
Console ornaments are kitschy. No one wants to be that. No one wants the corny ass ornament like a SNES.
Oh, come on. I mean, I do.
Out of touch. What have I been saying this whole time?
I mean, wrong. Might have been saying out of touch, but you're wrong.
I mean, okay. Show your kid, or Pikachu, or Eevee and SNES. See what he says. Anyway,
I mean, okay, all right. No bringing in my kid because that's just unfair. Okay.
Is your child not representative? Is your kid super special and unique? All three of them super special, unique, not applicable to society?
No. No.
That was a trap. You should have said yes, absolutely. You would have won twice.
No. See, the reason why I don't is because you would have won. because my kid would have chosen Eevee over a Super Nintendo, but you're still wrong. Okay. Listeners, let us know down in the comments who won these fights. Sorry for the off the rails a little bit debates. I am tired tonight. I hit a wave of tired before Test Your Might started, as you could tell, because of that Geralt argument. So yeah, hopefully I brought the heat in the final two. Sean, you brought the heat the whole time, as you always do. I should have had some caffeine. Anyway, in honor of Evo and all the fighting game stuff happening right now, top 5 fighting characters of all time is our leaderboard section. So yeah, Sean, what are your top 3 fighting game characters?
Okay. So my fighting game characters, I am picking Peach. Princess Peach, obviously. Smash Bros. I am going to pick Voldo from Soul Calibur.
Voldo?
Voldo. Yeah, Voldo. Voldo.
Yeah, I spelled it right.
I figured you would know that one. Yeah. Third one's hard. Because Well, really, third one's hard because I know the correct answer is someone in the BlazBlue series because they just have wild characters and character design, but I haven't played that game ever. I just heard them secondhand from fighting game people. So just asterisk, some really cool person from BlazBlue. And then my third is going to be Suyu Asui from the My Hero Academia fighting games, based on the anime.
I don't know how to spell that.
TSUYU space ASUI. Yeah, you did it.
From My Hero Academia?
Uh-huh.
I started that show.
Did you?
I did, and I actually really enjoyed it, but I stopped watching it for some reason.
Did you get to the frog girl? Have you seen her?
No, I've watched like maybe 2 episodes.
Okay, yeah, so you haven't even gotten to school yet. Okay, yeah. As soon as you get to school, she'll be there. But
okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's just a given for me. Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not only is he like super iconic, but he's also a pretty solid character when you're fighting as him. So, one of the more recent, we've talked about it a couple times, but I really think Finn is super fun from MULTIVERSUS. He just has a unique down Y that you collect coin. What's cool about it is that it gives you an extra goal as you're fighting, because you're trying to, as you hit your enemies, they generate coins, and you're gathering these coins so that you could use your down Y ability in order to purchase certain buffs or certain debuffs to your enemies. And so really cool character. I've been liking him in MULTIVERSUS, so yeah. And I believe that Injustice 2 did a boo-boo and did not include Batgirl from Injustice 1. Batgirl was awesome. She was my favorite. I think she's probably been my favorite fighting character, like, of any fighting game of all time. I just always loved her moveset. She flowed really well. A lot of good combos from her, so she will be my must-have. So Batgirl from Injustice 1. I love that game. Yeah. Sean, what's your must-have? And we'll just do top 4, by the way. Do top 4.
Okay, Voldo. Voldo's iconic.
He is. He is so iconic.
I wish he didn't exist. Wow, dang. I wish he didn't exist so I could have Ivy on here also from Soul Calibur. Because I love her more. But okay. Voldo is just so much and so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the weird mummy man that has
I remember him.
All the flexibility and knife hands.
I liked Spawn from Soul Calibur 2 on the Xbox. He was awesome.
I never played it on that. I think it was only PS2. So I didn't even get Link. It was sad.
It's sad. Okay. I mean, do you just want to throw up one from my list and one from yours?
I mean,
make it fair.
Else on your... Well, it's absolutely not gross. Ew. Here's the thing. I'm gonna put Peach. I will vote to have Peach up there, because she's not like she's never overpowered, but she's got great variety of moves between the booty slam, the counter, the making you eat your vegetables. There's great memes with her. And also she has good punishing mechanics, like, hey, you better not be holding down next to her, otherwise if she down smashes, you're absolutely destroyed because you're getting extra damage if you don't know to play smart like that. So I think that's just like cool design. That puts her up there. And then the only argument I have for Suyu is Frog Girl with cool reach mechanics, and when she's fighting, she'll go like, ribbit, ribbit, it'll reach, and that was stuck in my head when I played it one time with Brian's house for a month. based off of like 2 rounds of play.
But I'll give you Peach. I like Peach from Smash
yeah, Peach
Bros.
for sure.
I'll give you that for sure. We could put it on there, but come on, it's Scorpion. Like,
yeah, Scorpion's free.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, what does Scorpion have that Tsuyu does? I mean, Scorpion brings people to them. A frog tongue is a way cooler way of bringing people towards you than a
true.
chain.
Scorpion has the teleport though that especially in the recent games, like I thoroughly enjoy.
Right.
And I also like in the more recent games that he has a sword now too. So just what I believe that they did with Scorpion is really evolve him and update him to be just even more of a compelling fighter within Mortal Kombat. I still need to play Mortal Kombat 11. I need to go through that campaign. Anyway. All right. Top 4 fighting characters of all time. We got Batgirl, Voldo, Peach, and Scorpion in no particular order. But Batgirl's first. No, I'm kidding.
Asterisk, BlazBlue person.
Yeah. Several asterisks. That BlazBlue guy. Well, this has been our crazy show, our cattywampus show. I'm tired. I'm surprised I survived. Sean, thanks for joining me. Listeners, if you have not already done, hit that like button, hit the review button, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching us there. We would really appreciate it. Follow us on Twitter at WhatTheFunPod. You could also find us there on Facebook too. And you can find me at StayAtHomeGamer, where the O in home is a 0. You can follow me there on Twitter. Sean still doesn't have a Twitter, so...
You can find me liking and subscribing here because every like and review you have on this podcast is another hour Mike gets to sleep someday in the future.
Potentially.
Directly translates. Look it up.
Yeah, definitely. 1 like equals 1 hour of sleep. So, that's all we got for today. This has been Test Your Might 83, and my name is Mike. That is Sean. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
See ya.